Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the cage. Fighting out of the blue corner, representing Kuwait, the challenger, Abdulah boshiri.
The belt is coming with me in Kuwait.
Desperately determined to make history as the first Kuwaiti world champion, which would really be an incredible achievement. Abdulah boshiri, he serves the Kuwaiti people in so many ways, not just as a fighter, but as an officer in the military, and is immensely proud of Kuwait as he is as a believer in the wider fraternity in the Arab community. I really love this guy. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He was visibly emotional after that split decision loss the last time these lads fought. He thought he won the fight, and so did quite a few other people. And to be fair, Abdullah's not used to losing. It doesn't happen very often. He was brutally honest with me at the press conference this week, saying there are a lot of other factors going into his loss in that title fight, but that is no longer the case tonight. Overwhelming majority of his wins are achieved on the feet. He's got such a lot of power in his kickboxing, something admittedly Badreddine did well to avoid the first time they met. I still feel sorry for John Adderjaw, who had to face Abdulah after that loss, because boshiri just tossed him around like salad before slapping on a beautiful first round armbar, and you could see it in Abdullah's eyes that night. They were burning. There was just one thing on his mind, and it was Diani. It was revenge. It's the belt, and he's prepared to die to take it back to Kuwait here tonight.
And he is so strong.
And now let's welcome to the cage, fighting out of the red corner, representing Casablanca, Morocco. He is the UAE Warriors Arabia welterweight champion, Badreddine Diani.
Boshiri, we are brothers, but this time no more changes, only steel. The game is over.
Well, when these guys first fought, I wanted one more round, and you know what, we're going to get 5. Badreddine's first title defense is against the man he narrowly beat for that title. And he's told boshiri this week, I will destroy your dream once more. Diani is determined and more hungry than ever to give the Moroccan people a reason to celebrate and to take that belt back home. The first time these guys met, it truly was one for the ages. A 5-round war that ended in a contentious split decision, resulting in this, a really highly warranted rematch. Many fans were asking, as I said, for just one more round in that fight to settle matters, and now we get 5. There's so many things that Badreddine Diani does so well. Solid fundamentals combined with heart of a lion and a really fun personality. He's the kind of guy who brightens up a room when he walks in and does the same to the cage when he enters into it. He can get it done wherever the fight goes. He's got explosive kickboxing and a very fluid ground game. He just lets it flow on the canvas, and he's very difficult to keep down, and it will make you pay with interest on the disengage. A great champion, a great Moroccan, and this, guys, is a great title fight.
Awesome fight, awesome rematch.
I was fortunate to be here at the first fight. It was so intense. The power of boshiri, the smoothness of Diani, and how that sort of blended in the cage. And obviously Diani took the win, but it could have gone either way, and it's 50-50.
Yeah, it was such a contentious win, wasn't it? And it's a shame here tonight, yet again, there's going to have to be a loser, because both these guys are winners in my eyes. Two very different styles, but they cancel each other out by putting just a pure explosive fight together.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the co-main event of the evening. Scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds and is for the UAE Warriors Arabia welterweight title. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is a boxer standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, official weight 169.6 pounds. He has a professional record of 9 wins, 3 losses. From Kuwait, please welcome Abdulah boshiri. And now let's welcome his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He is a Sambo fighter standing 6 feet 1 inches tall, official weight 170.1 pounds. He has a professional record of 5 wins, 2 losses. From Casablanca, Morocco, he is the current reigning and defending UAE Warriors Arabia welterweight champion, Badreddine Diani. The referee in charge, Sam Amidi, to give the instructions.
Gentlemen, you come please. Right, gents, we've been over the rules. I want a nice, clean fight. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. When I say stop, you stop. We're clear? Touch gloves if you want. Let's do this.
And in Bushiri's corner, we have our lightweight champion, retired Bruno Caveira.
You ready?
Badreddine Diani looking very relaxed. There's the fight announcements, looking like he's about to go on a Sunday stroll. Just smiles after the beginning opening leg kick as he switched stances.
It's kind of an interesting clash of rough and smooth styles. Boshiri all power and aggression. Diani just flowing. Yeah, nice shot.
In this beginning of the fight, Boshiri looks a bit slow, right?
He's more muscular, isn't he? More heavily muscled up. His upper body's very big and strong.
He's built like a grappler, right? You should go for the leg, and one of those types that grab and doesn't let it go.
Yeah.
That being said, that was a very nice inside leg kick from Boshiri. He's just looking for big counter, big overhand right.
But he looks a bit sloppy, doesn't he? Doesn't he?
Diani just looking down at the legs. Boshiri is wanting to control the space in the center of the octagon. Perhaps he's changed his game plan compared to the last fight, Lucio, where he's looking for the power counters. He couldn't really make that power count the first time they met as much as he wanted. And he did say that he's going to be a lot more patient going into this fight, and that could be the reason.
Yeah, it might be.
Big up kick.
Very nice technique from Diani. He's used his opponent so many times in the past with the start switch. Really playing a little bit of mind games now already. He is a natural showman, but does the fundamentals well, so he's allowed to do that. It's kind of guys who will know the rules so well before he breaks them is Diani. And he can pick people apart with that step-in jab. Looks for the clinch up though and takes a right from Boshiri in exchange.
A little bit of blood in Bushiri's nose.
Diani goes downstairs. Diani just saying it was heading towards another regions, but it really wasn't. It was an inside leg kick of his own. Boshiri applies a body kick of his own. They're clinching up. A nice knee for the disengage from Diani. Looking for that right is Boshiri.
I think it's a bit dangerous just to strike with Diani. He should be mixing up a little bit. Go for the leg, go back to strike, you know, make him think, make him worry.
Yeah, he's very light on his feet, Diani, isn't he? And Boshiri just looking for the power counter as Diani tries to outscore him a little bit.
Yeah, Diani more than happy to hit and move. He's very smooth on his feet. Boshiri sort of planting his feet, bent legs, looking to get inside and hit powerful.
It's very nice movement from Badreddine Diani, just in and out of the pocket. And when Boshiri tries to get that power to play, it's a good left check hook though from Boshiri. Diani replies with a nice one of his own. Boshiri's going to get a bit wild with his leg kicks. Overhand right coming in again. Diani looking for the shot, but goes back up. Head control on the clinch. Boshiri's trying to engage, take away from him. With a toss. Good defense from Boshiri as both lads clinch up. Some knees and uppercuts in the middle from both.
It wasn't a well-timed shot, but at least it's going to make Boshiri think about him coming to his legs.
Again, Diani suggesting it was a low blow. Boshiri doesn't think it was. Show a bit of respect when they move apart. Nice fakes from Diani though. Fakes a level change. As Boshiri looks to defend it, comes back with the punch. Just slightly ahead in the speed and the timing of Badreddine Diani.
But it's a hard round to score, isn't it?
Yeah,
You think Diani has an edge?
Oh, it's a good shot from Boshiri though. And a nice kick, front kick to the chest.
I mean, Diani's maybe landed a little bit more, but Boshiri took cage control.
Yeah, he
Was in the
walked
center,
forward all the time.
so it's very balanced.
Diani was much more precise.
Yeah, a couple of those shots just glancing off the chest and the guard of Diani. As Boshiri was able to come forward with power. You saw that left high kick really going nowhere for Diani though. Swing and a miss from both. Both lads exchanging a bit of leg kicks. I didn't see any low blows there at all whatsoever, Ollie. I got a bit...
No, maybe just a little warning, thought a little bit too close.
Did it twice. You know, perhaps he was just looking for a little bit of space and just to keep the referee on guard.
He kicks hard, so you don't want to take one too many in the wrong spot.
It's that left jab from Diani, just pumping it out, trying to create space. That was a nice knee up the middle from inside the clinch from Diani. Got a nice inside leg kick. Boshiri comes with a body kick for the zone. Doesn't really go anymore. Just Diani turns away from his opponent and takes a shot to the back of his head there. Nothing Boshiri could have done about that. Diani took a couple of shots at the end of that first though. Just to keep light on his feet as he was in the first round because it was really working for him. Oh, it was a good right from Boshiri in that exchange. That was the most telling blow. That got Diani's attention, that's for sure.
Boshiri is getting more comfortable.
Another good right from Abdulah. Yeah, you're right, Lucio's gaining in confidence a bit. Teasing the jumping kick off the fence is Badreddine Diani. He needs to cover the basics at the moment because Boshiri's coming forward with power. It's time to play games. Diani's a showman. It's Boshiri with the power shots at the moment. Coming forward, Diani's still got the lighter movement, dancing on the outside. Being careful not to circle into the right hand of Boshiri. They're just playing with the open-handed guard now. Boshiri just not buying it whatsoever. He's keeping it quite tight and tidy.
Yeah, good round, good starts around Boshiri here. Not jumping in quite as much, just landing on the outside, making an angle.
Both lads exchanging those inside leg kicks. A good right from Diani, just landing in the guard of Boshiri as he's going back. It's Diani looking for the power shots now.
Oh,
side kick. A little bit low. Referee Samana Midi calling time. Boshiri happy to continue, said it was absolutely fine. Just off the cup. certainly been a fun kickboxing affair at the moment. Certainly haven't seen any groundwork from either lad. Nice left to the body from Diani. It's mixing up just a little bit. Very aware of Boshiri's power. Boshiri just gets out of the way of Diani's right hands. He goes for the leg kick again. Nice front kick to the gut from Boshiri. All perfectly legal. Oh, it's a good right from Diani.
Good right. Oh, that one back.
Boshiri applies with one of his own. Diani's coming forward with punches and bunches. That was a nice flurry. Diani's on the back foot. Boshiri's coming forward. So we just lay some leather down on this moving target, this puzzle that is the Moroccan Badreddine Diani. Now goes low, does Boshiri. We were saying in that first round, Lucio, that looked like Boshiri was trying to conserve his energy, but he certainly had a good output this second round.
Yeah, absolutely.
Diani just looking for some openings. Just looking down at the feet of Boshiri. Start teasing in some feints. No one's level changing or teasing the takedown at the moment. Both out swinging and missing. Just all the blows landing off the guards at the moment. Nothing too significant in this second round.
I think Diani should target his legs, Boshiri legs, to make him, because he's walking forward and forward all the time.
Yeah, he's got the speed and he's got the movement, hasn't Diani, to do that, Lucio? You're very right.
Yeah.
Boshiri's looking to plant his feet and get those power shots going, and there you go.
Oh,
Finally,
good
we get the
takedown. Straight to the side control. But Boshiri recovered the guard, going for the triangle. Diani defends well. Butterfly guard. Heel hook.
For a leg.
It's locked.
Got it.
The hook is he trapped the far leg. He trapped the far leg, so it's hard for Diani to turn. It was pretty tight. It's still tight.
Here.
Oh, no,
But then he lost.
He let go of it. Gonna get it again.
Another seated position.
He's using it to get the back.
That was smart. That was smart.
Diani gone down to the ground, and Boshiri drags him down. And now it's Abdulah al-Boshiri in the guard of Diani. Trying to move out to the side, but he's happy to stay in full guard.
Trying to get the half guard. Diani is very savvy with his guard.
It looked like he had it, but then Badreddine Diani was just laughing over to his corner in confidence, saying he was absolutely fine. But it was a nice scramble that allowed Abdulah Boshiri to end up in this position in the full guard of Badreddine Diani with the welterweight title on the line, and the bell is sounding. Cracking round.
It might have been enough for the round. It might have secured him at round 2. But
Might be one apiece, right?
Yeah, both of these guys are doing a great job of just cancelling each other out. Nothing too hurtful happening, but a lot of action. And in round 3, we might see something go off a little bit because it's high energy, high pace, and a lot of power involved.
Yeah, there I was asking for the takedown, saying what a affair it's been on the stand-up without anyone really attempting a takedown. Literally 10 seconds later, Diani goes in for an absolutely beautiful shot. But dangerous off his back, as you guys were alluding to, was Abdulah Boshiri going for the heel hook, going for the leg, and a nice scramble in the right direction for Badreddine Diani. Really nice head movement at times from Diani, dancing around the outside. But some shots landing from Abdulah al-Boshiri. There's that nice right from Diani, as Boshiri was just punching out that jab. Three more rounds for the welterweight title. We've still got the featherweight title rematch between Ali Al-Qaisi and Ahmed Fares still to come. It's been all-out action here at UAE Warriors 40.
Just slowed down a touch, beginning round 3. A little bit less movement from Diani now.
Still looking light on his feet is Badreddine Diani. Boshiri just happy to plant his feet.
He's very light, but he hasn't figured out the puzzle of boshiri.
Nice leg kick from Diani and a good right from Boshiri. Crisp jab from Diani. Diani's got that left hand down low. As the rounds wear on, his guards have started to slip. Those lads having a conversation. There's a good left-right combination from Diani.
A lot of respect from the fighters.
Got the feeling this fight could just change on a sixpence. It really could. Both guys looking for more significant shots at the moment. Into this third round, it's been a nice exchange, but no real heading blows at the moment. It's very similar to their first fight. They negated each other very nicely on the feet. Two very different styles. At the same time, very difficult to point. It was a good left from Boshiri and a nice flurry in reply from Diani.
Boshiri, the underhooks, taking control on the wall. We haven't seen a lot of grappling yet in this fight.
Badreddine Diani looking at the big screen to see where his position is. Take a look at the clock, 2.5 left in this third round.
Ooh, big exchange on the way out.
Boshiri just shrugs it off and comes back. Diani really starting to look up the clock more and more as this round wears on. Nice step in right jab from Diani, followed by an inside leg kick from Boshiri. Again, see if Diani just can try and set something up with that left jab, as he continues to look at the feet of his opponent Boshiri. Boshiri wants to come in and see if he can get some striking going off and put some combinations together, but that jab of Diani is creating some nice space. He's making Boshiri pay a little bit as he's entering the pocket. Oh, catches the kick with Diani.
And again for the heel hook.
I think again.
And he trapped very well the far leg again. Maybe he's going to move for a 50-50 position or something.
He's holding on.
Going to use that to go to the back again.
Good defense. He can get around, he can't get around.
And he does. Oh, he managed to get on top.
Wow. Boshiri gets on top. Great scramble. Good defense from Diani for the heel hook.
But I would say that his defense was a bit of an overreaction because Boshiri did not have his foot isolated to get anything going, you know. He had the far leg trapped. He had the legs in the right position, but he not secure Diani's foot, so he kind of gave out his back for no reason almost.
And you think Diani's given away position because he just panicked in terms of
he did panic now. Because the second round attempt was pretty close.
Well, Boshiri has 25 seconds left to see if he can start scoring a little bit of damage and make sure that Diani comes out to this fourth a little bit worse for wear. But he's not causing a lot of damage as Boshiri. He needs to rain down some shots now and see if he can just punctuate himself in the minds of the judges. We're going into the fourth.
A tough one to judge.
Very tough one.
Very hard fight for the judge.
I don't think either guy's got full control of this fight at this moment in time. I don't know who's winning the rounds. They're both very, very close. And it's as we expected. Diani being the slightly smoother of the two, moving about, not putting loads of power and full commitment into the shots. And Boshiri standing his ground, trying to land the power shots. But as you get more tired, you plant your feet more. Diani's having to exchange with power more as well. And we're seeing a bit more action. Some of the good wrestling from Diani, good leg attempts, heel hook attempts from Boshiri, but also managing to get the sweeps in the rounds on top, but not doing much damage with it.
It's a good right from Diani. Boshiri just came back after this point with a couple of rounds. Good show of respect between both of them, but the corner starts screaming at this point, enough for the showmanship. Start pulling this guy around. Boshiri took a punch for the leg kick attempt. Two very different styles, and yet they're negating each other very well.
Championship round.
Good. Diani just going back to leg kicks.
But there was something, Ollie. Have you received any answer from Chai Perry? Have you heard anything from yesterday?
The word has got back to me that he won't take my call out lightly and he will step up to the plate.
Whoa, that would be very nice. I'm looking forward to watch this fight.
We will have to wait for some public statement from Chai, because I don't imagine he likes me talking about him too much. I don't want him to like it.
So whatever you heard was from someone else, not from him yet?
Well, it's from him and somewhere else.
Ah, okay.
It was a good right from Boshiri. Diani looking for the leg kicks again. It's Diani controlling the space now. Boshiri just conserving his energies. He gets the double, does Diani. He's got the single. Just defending up against the fences, Boshiri. He's got that whizzer under the right arm of Diani. Right in his corner, just chatting away. He's having a fat conversation with his corner. Diani just using the head control, keeping hold of the single. Not really trying any much of a takedown attempt. So we'll tire out Diani. What's he doing here, Ollie?
It's kind of a bit of a stalemate there, isn't it? But he needs to disengage if he can't get the way he wants it. Boshiri is a strong guy.
I find it weird that he's actually trying to take him down again after twice being ended up on the bottom. And it feels like he's more precise, more technical in the stand-up. Maybe he's scared of, the power of Boshiri, that he might, just throw a good right hand and finish the fight or something. I don't know.
No, it depends on how the fighters see the scoring so far, how they feel. Sometimes you can feel like you're doing enough and you've got 3 rounds in the bank, and a lot of times it isn't the case.
But he can't. Do you believe that he's thinking that he can't, right?
I think both guys think they're winning the fight. Because that's what fighters do when they're fighting quite well. You think you're winning.
Yeah.
But that was just tired Badreddine Diani. He really didn't get anything from that clinch work. He kept hold of the single. I thought he was going to go for the high crotch from there and just get his opponent down to the ground to control the rest of the round. He's got 2 minutes left. Like you said, Lucio, we're in the championship rounds. Now is when you need to start causing the damage. There's a good right from Boshiri. Snap back the head of Badreddine Diani, but he's still in this. His guard is up high. Now he's coming forward.
But on that note, that you might be thinking that you're winning the fight. That's why it's important to have a good corner, right?
Exactly.
To tell you, wait, man, you might not be winning. You have to do something because nobody knows.
Yeah.
At this point, nobody knows, really.
Good point.
Boshiri was looking for the power combination there, but Diani just dancing out of range. Just really neat, beautiful movement from the Moroccan lad. Right misses from Diani. He's just trying to cut off the angles now, Boshiri. So a bit of a stalemate at the moment, guys, in this 4th round. As you can see, the significant strikes the body landed go with Boshiri, 8-5. Very, very hard as you look at that data to kind of score a fight like this. Kind of cagey affair. A lot of output from both guys, but real no significant strikes.
Yeah, nothing really hurtful. And a lot of action, but not a lot of damage, like the first fight in a way.
Oh, it was a good takedown defense from Diani. Good timing from Boshiri. Both lads swing with big lefts, so they disengage. It was a good duck under by Boshiri to get the seatbelt position, but Diani spinning round so beautifully, just desperately trying to get the Q80's arms from off him. Right, Diani walking away.
Okay, that's it, mate. Let's wait for the next.
He chose when the round ended.
Almost by mutual agreement. Ollie was saying what a difficult fight this is to score as we take a look at the replay brought to you by Experience Abu Dhabi. And it's a back and forth affair with both lads still in it and all to play for in the fifth and final rounds. But I said their styles have negated each other, but they're both taking a lot of punishment, but a lot of the blows just glancing in the kickboxing.
Yeah, but neither guy can afford to ride this round out. So it's going to be a great round 5 because neither guy can be sure of where he stands in the scorecards right now. So you have to assume you're behind.
You know what I would love to see? A score that you can see
Live
what's
scoring,
happening, right? Live scoring.
Yeah, aggregated from the 5 judges, round by round. It will be an interesting. So it impels the fighter to kind of look for the finish at the end of the
It
down.
impels the fighter behind to push. It doesn't impel the fighter that's ahead to push.
The fighter who's ahead will then just come off the back foot and just try and avoid any kind of punishment and might slow down himself and just play it but safe.
There's pros and cons to this concept. I like it.
I think we should give it a go, Lucio. I think that's a great idea, particularly in a fight like this.
Yeah.
But I think you guys are right. It all comes down to this 5th round. Both fighters have to assume they're 2 rounds apiece and just go for it. You know, you've got the welterweight title on the line, and you've got to do what you can to get it around your belt and take it home. It's either going back to Morocco or it's going back to Kuwait City. How special would it be for Abdulah al-Boshiri to take that belt back to his army base back in Kuwait City, and likewise for Badreddine Diani to return to Casablanca with that piece of gold around his waist. Which means you both have to go for broke and see if you can finish this fight somehow and not leave it in the hands of those judges. Boshiri bites down his gun guard and comes with a swing and a miss with his right. Diani just dancing just out of range, teases the spinning attack.
I feel like these 2 guys could fight 10 times and they just haven't got a stoppage in each other. They've just got that sort of combination where they go together really well.
Yeah.
They could probably fight 10 times and go 5 each.
Boshiri is looking at something, the time or...
Big overhand right, bowling overhand right in the miss from Boshiri. Got the leg kick before then. Again, Diani's superior movement just from the outside, his left-right roundhouse. Just glancing off the right arm of Boshiri. Both guys really scoring at the moment. That nice stepping jab from Diani. Diani just looking for an opening. Boshiri looking for the counter. Leg kick scores from Diani and a bit of showboating.
I don't know if we're at that point.
Yeah.
But again, the fighters see things the way they think they are.
Yeah, it's so different in there, isn't it, Ollie? You know, as a fighter, where you see the fight going and how everyone else cage side sees it going can often be 2 different things.
It really is. Your perception of a scoring can be awful in there.
which is why good corners need to come into it, knowing how to motivate the fighter, but also give a realistic expectation of what they need to do in the very next round.
Yeah.
Badreddine Diani continued to show back a little bit.
This being a world heavyweight title fight, we saw great cornering in the last Edwards and Usman fight, if you remember that, when Usman was on top of Edwards and his corner was shouting at him, and he really responded and got the knockout.
Trying to catch the kick, takes a right for his pain, does Boshiri. Small little leg kicks from Diani as Boshiri now comes plodding forward slowly, see if he can land some leather on the face of the Moroccan lad.
Neither fighter looks desperate enough to think he's behind, do they?
No, I don't think they're playing it safe, but they're just so aware of each other's ability, which is why, as we're saying, they cancel each other so well. And perhaps why explains they've shown such respect during fight week, as well as during this fight. If Diani looks like he's having a good time, I'd prefer a finish, got to be honest.
Yeah, me too. Have a good time afterwards.
Yeah, dance with the belt around your waist. A lot of feints from Diani. Boshiri planting his feet, looking for that counter. The big left comes over the guard of Diani. Just pumping out that jab, Boshiri. Keeping it relatively simple as a Kuwaiti lad, like he did in the first, just looking for the power counters. He hasn't deviated from that game plan, and nor is Diani, just dancing on the outside, just scoring the odd little shot, see if he can ratchet up the points and remind the judges that he's scoring some strikes as Boshiri tries to cut off the angles, get the power down, which he's struggled to do with Diani's superior movement.
It's not the fifth round that I was expecting to see.
Nor the first, second, and third, and fourth. Not that it hasn't been entertaining. It's been a technical fair on the feet.
And I think in this case, neither the corner knows who's winning the fight. So I think both of them are telling, oh, you're fine, you're winning.
Judging from Diani's quite low volume this round, I think he's feeling quite positive that he might have the win. I'm not 100% positive about it.
Oh, Boshiri's just going off. Both lads starting to swing. Diani went for the takedown attempt, and Boshiri stifled it nicely and went with a lot of shots to the ribs. And both guys are celebrating. Diani climbs the top of the cage. Now Boshiri does exactly the same. Working the crowd, see if they get a bit of support for their efforts. Thinking that the noise here in the Etihad Arena might sway the judges in some way, but our cage side arbiters at UAE Warriors are a bit more objective than that.
Yeah, the decision's made. They've done it round by round. A nice little flurry at the end of there. I'd like to have seen that flurry a little bit earlier in round 5.
Yeah, Diani tried the double at the end and clinched up, and then Boshiri just went for repeated shots to the side of the ribs there of Badreddine Diani. That left high roundhouse from Diani just glancing off the guard of Boshiri. That left jab coming through. Would have liked to see him pump out that left jab a little bit more, because there are times when he had a decent amount of power in it. But the good movement from Diani just frustrated Boshiri. But Boshiri's also got some nice boxing head movement as well. Did the basics well, and Diani wasn't able to get any kind of shots off of any significance, and in fact neither lad did throughout those 5 rounds. And towards the end there, Diani looking perhaps for the takedown attempt was really half-hearted and gave Boshiri the invitation just to go and see if he can get some shots to the side of the flank with all the power he's got left in 10 seconds, the 5th and final round of this championship fight. No idea what these scorecards are going to look like. It was a split decision the first time these guys met, and it was contentious then. Either way, whatever it's going to happen, it's certainly not a robbery. I think the cards are coming into the cage now, alongside the belt.
They match up very well.
Almost too well. Almost too well. Someone's going to be very disappointed tonight.
A lull in proceedings as we wait for the cards to come in, and Mike Cavell's been handed the scorecards. Let's find out. History's about to be made.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. The judge 1 scores about 48-47. He has it for Diani. Judge 2 scores the bout 49-46. He has it for boshiri. And Judge 3 scores the bout 48-47 for your winner by split decision. And still, UAE Warriors Arabia welterweight champion, Badreddine Diani. To present the award, let's welcome His Excellency Abdul Menam Al-Hashimi.
As I said, someone had to leave unhappy tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Abdulah al-Boshiri speaking to the CEO of UAE Warriors, Fuad Darwish, alongside his colleague Mohamed Al-Akra. And
So
Darwish just explaining that it's not his decision, and really it's the governing body decides who gets scored and why.
So 2 judges saw it 3-2 for Diani, and 1 judge saw it 4-1 for Boshiri.
What I will say is, you have to take it from the champion.
Yeah,
That's generally how it works. You have to take it and leave no questions.
yeah.
And
Not that I
wasn't what we
fully
saw.
agree with that, but that's what they say, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't emphatic either way, was it? I mean, either way you look at it, it's not a robbery. But
No, absolutely not.
yeah, it's kind of those things, Ollie, but to beat the champion, you have to be the champion, and you got to really take that belt away and do something special to do it.
I think we'll see these two again down the line.
Boshiri is not happy.
Still champion, Diani. Great effort regardless, and a good fight between the two of them.